if you're wondering how to keep a guy interested after sleeping with him, remember that it's not all about sex, it's about seduction. That's where you come in. Flirt with him, tease him, talk dirty with him, keep him stimulated mentally and excited for more. Now, work on keeping him mentally stimulated. In other words, fuck his mind. You have to let him know you want him, not that you need him. It's a different ball game altogether. You want him to be part of your life, but you don't necessarily need him if he doesn't want to be there. There's a big difference. Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jane Lawrence, and on today's episode of Juiciness, I am going to be talking about something that I know that you would love. So let's assume that you started having sex with a guy, but now you're wondering how to keep a guy interested after sleeping with him, right? I know that feeling. Honestly, many people sleep with someone on a first date, and this isn't something new. Most of the time it was because the chemistry wasn't bad. The chemistry was, ooh, oh my God. The look in his eyes could just get you all moist. And, we just needed to scratch an itch. But there are some cases where you wouldn't mind seeing him again and again and again. You get where we're going with this, right? But the big question is, how do you get him to stay interested in you after you gave him the goodies? Ooh. How do you keep a guy really interested after sleeping with him? That's a huge question. Now, here is everything you need to know. Well, first, the best thing to do is to let him take the lead. That's just the natural order of things. Men tend to be the pursuer in a relationship, while women tend to be the pursuee. Okay? It's worked that way for thousands of years. So why mess with human nature? So whatever you do, don't text him. Don't be the first person to text him. Men want what they can't have. So you want to be calm and cool and not needy and clingy. Since you already slept with him, it's going to be a challenge already. But then again, if he's not into you after you had sex with him, then he isn't someone you need to be chasing after. Do you get my drift? So what I have been saying all along is, number one, don't start acting needy after you slept with him. This happens with both men and women when they're into someone. We text them eagerly. You just had sex with him, so you already went to an intimate place with him. I get it. But listen. In his eyes, when you text him an hour later or every morning after, he's thinking you want more. And as I stated earlier, men want to be in charge. And believe it or not, they don't like needy women. So if you want to know how to keep a guy interested after having sex with him, you should know that men are most attracted to confident women. And if you have a good self-esteem as a woman, you don't have any desire to be needy. In fact, you despise it because it is a behavior that makes you look desperate. And that's the last thing you want to come across as after sleeping with a guy for the first time. You can want more from him, but don't scare him away. Don't be too eager to want to see him again. Let him be the first person to text you after you hook up with him. Okay? Number two, don't expect too much. Yes, you just had the greatest sex of your life with him. You sprouted your legs. You spread them wide open to the ceiling. You gave him the monkey in a shadow position. And you were badass, girl. You worked that joystick. You worked it. You grinded. You twisted. You swirled on it, man. You twerked on his joystick. You made him come. You made him call your name. You made him say obscene things. You made him moan, and that made you feel great. But listen, darling, I'm sorry to bust your bubbles. This doesn't mean he's going to ask you to be his wife or girlfriend. So, for your sanity's sake, please keep those expectations you have in your head really low, girl. Because you may be thinking that the sex was so special. It may have been special for you, but that doesn't mean that he's going to see it the same way as you do. Now, you've got to realize that men's and women's minds work very differently when it comes to sex. Women bond through sex and get attached. Men sadly don't. For them, sex is just sex. It's not an act of love or commitment. Not that it can't be, but it definitely isn't on a first date. So if you have no expectations, then you can't be disappointed. It is just what it is. Number three, let him know you liked the sex. See, when you sleep with someone new, you obviously have a lot of thoughts going on in your mind, right? You want to know if they liked it, if you pleased them. It's normal. Though many men act like they're tough, they're not, honestly, darling. They're the softest sets of gender. Most of them have fragile ego and they worry about the same things that we do worry about as women. So let him know how you felt sleeping with him. Give him a little ego boost. They love to be boosted egotistically. But however, you need to be careful with this one. You might run the risk of sounding like you're needy or chasing him if you bring it up first. So maybe just let him take the lead on this one too. You don't want to see him too over the top or over eager when you tell him what a great lover he is. Come on now. Number four, learn to ease off the pressure. See, if you really want to keep him around and learn how to keep a guy interested after sleeping with him, don't pressure him. Now, if you've been sleeping together for a year and nothing is happening, then you could ask questions. But if it's been 2 days since you slept together, don't do not start pressuring him with the definition of the relationship. Like, what are we now? What are we? Take it easy, or else he's going to run away. Guys like to take their time when it comes to relationships. It's crazy, but that's what they do. Women tend to want to rush in and define things right away. So just take it easy and see where it leads. It's definitely better for him to bring up, a conversation and put pressure on you because he likes you so much rather than you putting pressure on him when you're not even sure that he likes you. Number five, let him chase you, darling. Ladies, ladies, ladies. I mean, I know that you may like him, but don't chase a guy after having sex with him if you want to keep him interested. The worst thing that you could do is chase a guy. Men are hunters. If you're not giving him something to chase after, he will find something else. All right? Don't chase. Make him work for it. It's okay to ignore him from time to time or play a little game of hot and cold. You don't have to be an asshole about it, but just let him know he needs to work for it. So when you let him chase you, it sends him the message that you're a confident woman. You have your own life, your own friends, you have a job and other things that keep you going in your life. In fact, you're so happy that you don't even really care either way whether he's part of it. Period. Okay? Number six, try to talk with him. Normal conversation, just have normal conversation. Yes, you slept together, but there are more things you have in common than just that. If you took some time to actually speak to him, you will notice some things in common. And this is good because you need to connect with him if you want to keep a man around. Long-term relationships need to be based on compatibility. You might feel like you are on the same page sexually, you're compatible sexually, but what about personality differences? Hmm? And this will take a while to figure out. So keep in mind that talking to him is the only way you will find that out. Number seven, look good. Not for him, though. You need to look good for yourself. That way, you will feel confident around him. So, by doing that, you will show him that even though you may be interested in him, you're not dying to be with him. All right? Other men will look at you. He's not the end all be all. And he will notice that. Because as a woman, I might say that he's not the only one that has eyes on you. And we all know guys like to one up each other. It's just the leader of the pack wolf mentality for men. Number 8, he needs to contact you if you want to keep him. If you really want to know how to keep a guy interested after sleeping with you, he needs to be the one to contact you, not you contacting him. He needs to be the one who makes the first move. That way you have him chasing after you instead of the other way around. Now remember what I said. Don't be the one who chases. I understand that this might be really difficult, especially when emotions are involved and you've had some soul contract or something. When you like someone, it's a natural urge to try to contact them. But if you want to hook this guy, you really need to resist the urge, no matter how long. If he's interested, you will definitely hear from him. If he's not, then you won't, and you just have, and that's your nudge for you to move on. Number 9, be mysterious. No, you don't need to wear a cloak and talk in old English, right? But don't be an open book with him. Sure, you can reply to his text messages, but don't open yourself up too much. Instead, give him the same amount of information that he gives you. Mirror his behavior. When you give up too much information too quickly, there's nothing left for him to discover. So make sure that you keep some of the moves close to your chest. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm telling you for a fact because I have had experiences, all right? Number 10, spend time with him after sex. If you've had sex with him and you're planning on having sex with him again, spend time with him. After having sex or hanging out with him, cuddle, watch a movie, talk. See, keeping a guy interested after having sex with him is all about spending time together, but also focusing on things beyond the bed. The more time you spend together, he will be able to get to know you and vice versa. If you just have sex and leave right away, that's all it will ever be. Number 11, focus on his brain. There's more to relationships than sex. If you already have had sex with him and he enjoyed it, then you are in the clear. Now, work on keeping him mentally stimulated. In other words, fuck his mind. You're not just a sexual object. You are a person with a sense of humor, intelligence, and charisma. Use it. Get a book of deep questions or just go through the internet for mind blowing things to talk about. It could be anything from aliens to ancient Egypt. But regardless of the topic, you have to be mentally and intellectually attractive to him in order for a guy to stay interested after sleeping with you and continue dating you, not just physically. All right. Not all men are shallow. Number 12, keep your independence. Men get scared easily, like really, really easily. They don't want to feel like they're being pushed into a corner, which means you need to focus on keeping your independence. Go out with your friends, stay busy, read books, and just have fun in life. That way, when you talk to him, he would realize that you have a full life, whether he's part of it or not. Let him just see that you don't need him in order to live your life. That way, he wouldn't freak out thinking you're trying to tie him down. You have to let him know you want him, not that you need him. It's a different ball game altogether. You want him to be part of your life, but you don't necessarily need him if he doesn't want to be there. There's a big difference. Number 13, be a tease. Come on, girl. I know you have it in you. So if you're wondering how to keep a guy interested after sleeping with him, remember that it's not all about sex. It's about seduction. He can have sex with any girl, but can every girl seduce him? Absolutely not. That's where you come in. Flirt with him, tease him, talk dirty with him, keep him stimulated mentally and excited for more. His mind needs to be thinking of you all day long. Number 14, be yourself. And this might sound lame, but while you're doing all of these things, you need to be yourself. He's not going to fall for you if you're acting like someone you're not. So do not change yourself during this process. Let him see you for who you truly are. Then he can decide if he likes it or not. If not, find a new guy. Think about it. You can't keep up and act for a very long time. You will eventually turn back into yourself. So he needs to fall in love with the real you, not a fictional character or a fictional version of you that you've made in your head. Number 15, I would urge you to just go with the flow. This probably isn't going to be the last guy you're going to have sex with or that you think you're really into. So just go with the flow. If he's not interested in you and it's clear, move on. There's no point in chasing after someone that isn't meeting you halfway. In fact, why would you want to be with someone who doesn't want to be with you? No matter how deeply emotionally connected you are with that person, you would have to find a way to break it. You shouldn't. You shouldn't be with someone who doesn't want to be with you. And if he rejects you, don't take it personally. Most relationships don't work out long term, and there are plenty of other fish in the ocean. That's what you should realize. Good fish in the ocean. now, now that you know how to keep a guy interested after having sex with him on the first date, you will be able to use these tips that I have given to you to have him coming back for more. Just remember, make him chase you and desire you, and everything starts from there. Okay? This is where I ended. Until I come your way. When I come your way, know that I love you and God loves you best. Don't you forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I post a video so that you will be the first to see my video whenever I post. Okay? Mwah!